top of it as well. Mako is keen to take up some space towards B main as well. DRX is doing this.
Yeah, they look like they're really aware that this comp can fight aggressively. They've got a lot of flashes to work with.
Here we go, wall, straight up, life. Right behind screens. Dash is really just making the most of this, look at that. Spam into the corner. Quick reload of the Sheriff, but a great opening pick for them. Can they convert it into anything else? Foxy9, so separated from the rest of his team with that dash deep onto it. The Cove also still up for now. RB just running right through them. To the back of Halls here, needs some help from the rest of his team to try and collapse and collide. HFMI, what can he do? Still right through the pillar. Everybody going to be falling who tries to flood into it. Spike still not down, Monk. It's a chance. Spike starts to get planted in the default spot.
Spike planted.
Snakebite, drop down, reload the gun.
Wow, Mako has just done him.
Yep, the wall gets used to reposition, and it's just a crossfire setup.
I mean, it's Buzz that ends up getting the kill, but look where Mako was. He managed to get the plant down, wiggle around behind the wall, and get into B-Link before anyone even realized what was occurring. So, I think ASE had their chances to be able to win that round. It just comes down to those kind of duels, where RB is going to be able to pick up 2, and then Bunt gets stuck behind the pillar. They had people in position to be able to defend, but not quite able to win the gunfights once Life went down. Life is going to be an incredibly key player for them on the defense side. They need to get him active. They have 2 initiators, a lot of tools to be able to push him onto angles. But likewise, DRX have a lot to be able to shift him away from angles too. Cascade's always going to be in his face, the Sky utility. And Stax likes to use his Trailblazer early, which isn't always the best, but against a Jet that's really aggressive on defense like Life, I think he's going to find a lot of value out of that.
Ty, this comp, you're playing against the Viper in the Harbor. It is brutal to play against if you're a Jet player.
Or you could just try this.
Yeah, Life is close to the corner, but like you said, Josh, it's the Trailblazer. It's used really far back.
Oh, he dashed into the door.
He dashed into them. I mean, he's trying to make the most of it. I respect it. I appreciate it. But close corners cleared now. Barreling forwards from DRX. Flash over the top does connect. Will they catch this close corner? YH is there. In fact, they've got 3 players all stacked up. It's been slowed down a tad. Is there going to be a hot flash play? Well, with Yuchen dying, not quite. It's not going to be likely. No more flashes now to play with, but I feel like the tempo switch up. There is a flank attempt that's also happening as well on the opposite side of the map. I mean, HFMI waiting for some sort of timing. Cove, though. It blooms, it blossoms, it gets the safe plan. Set themselves up now.
For the classic DRX post plan. Yeah. This is what Benkai was talking about, how important these level of flanks are going to be. I mean, you can see HFMI.
Team ball drop forwards. Wide face as well. A couple of players fall.
I think though already you're seeing that, you know, when your Sky player is going for a flank in the post plan, that kind of implies to me like Attack All Esports have sat down and they've said to each other, right, we need to be able to flank on these retakes. We've got to stop allowing Buzz and Mako to just play Snakebite and Nanoswarm lineups from the back of B-Long. So I'm not mad about that. As long as they have the right idea, the right approach, I think that's going to bode well for the tournament overall.
It's all about those timings, though. It's so tricky to find them against this comp because those windows of opportunity that you get when you're playing against the Viper Harbor on Pearl, you let them set up in the post plan, it's brutal. You can miss those chances so easily. So standard affair, Cascade pushed up close now. You see the Reckoning, this was built up prior. Clears out towards the site. YH really wants to try and fight for this one. The knife does get a decent tag with Foxy9. He is landing his shots today. Nothing to offset him.
Got tagged up inside his own Cloudburst as well and was still able to go for the wide swing and take down YH. Unfortunate there for Attack Soul that they weren't able to find a pick early.
Now forced to try and take this fight into them. Well, okay. Phantom spam onto it. Foxy9's dealt with it towards the back of Halls, but again,
he's the only player.
Remember what I was talking about, it's time pressure. It's the biggest question mark when you're playing against this comp because they're going to have Snakebites, they're going to have Nanoswarms, they're going to have the whole kitchen sink being launched like a trebuchet from range all the way through. RB playing close to the pillar as well, an attempt to try and push them back. Yeah, Live, he's got the dash back, 5 bullets. No easy fight. Not in the slightest, and with 1 health remaining, Monk cannot withstand it.
And that is the barrage of utility that ASE need to somehow navigate their way around. And we've seen two different approaches, you know, one on a round where they only had classics, but still a viable approach of being able to flank and create pressure from behind. And the other approach that Life tried to go for there is to go aggressive, push forwards, and take duels. The issue for me is Life didn't have that aggressive high tide to play with. He's not being supported by smoke utility, or really by any utility. They're just trying to take the fight. That's going to make things much more difficult.
This is the way the DRX love to play this map. Attack side and the defense side, it's heavy prioritization on the extremities of A and B. They want to farm up the orbs as well. The Reckoning is so important just for how this entire composition is played. So you can see that's where they've been prioritizing it. RB's 2 away now from that ult. He's just used it.
Careful here.
It's crazy how quick you can get the ult online.
Yeah. When you're putting a plan on him as well, just all the ultos being funneled. Dash forwards from Foxy9. He's trying to cut this one up. No one was watching it. Stacked.
Trade.
Beautiful trade. Like his aim wasn't going to be adjusted in time with that one. He was just popping out of the smoke. But still, they haven't cleared towards the back of the site. There's a cove in the way though. And when you're spamming it through the wall, Fragment nade drop down on top of it. It's all just a little bit too late.
And you get both of the post-plant agents playing over towards Art. So it's kind of weird what Buzz and Mako are going for right now, actually. They were both playing Art, and now they're so far away, anticipating some people to flank or be pushed.
Lineups from there?
No way, surely not.
I don't know.
Wait, there it is.
Really far back. Yeah,
There's
they
a
are.
snake bite.
They're just playing lineups from absolute Narnia, man. I mean, they are miles away, but the fight taken anyway. ASE, they realize it. Time is of the essence. Got to be playing towards it. The defuse as well. It's denied. There's only one player left. It's Buzz. Can he win his fight out? He can. The knife's not paying off. Defuse has to be stuck. Has to be covered. The players are low, but they do just that. Okay. ASE round on the boards. It's ludicrous, isn't it? It's crazy.
I mean, when you think DRX are going to, you know, fight something aggressively and support each other, you see you see Buzz and Mako just evacuating into mid to play lineups over into A. And really, that's what ends up hurting them. Like, there's a certain line that you need to tread between being in position to actually spam the plan and being in safe positions to unload your utility. That, I think, was a little too far in one direction. But very funny.
We see it again.
You don't get more of a DRX post plan than that.
No, you don't. I mean, it's so passive all the way back. Deep knife. I believe they're getting any tags on that one, but again, when I was talking about the Reckonings, it's online and it's critical. Life is close, didn't get tagged by it, but again, he's running out of options now all the way through. It's YH, he bails him out. Close to the screens, running right through. RB tries to adjust the aim, but for him, will he get the ace? Pop flash play, he's hunting for it, he wants it, but he's up against Mako. He's ready to deny, no clip inside, a reset potentially there for the third, but shut down. Safe hands, second round now on the board, earned for ASE.
And that's 2 in a row. One with a retake as DRX play passive post plans, and one just shutting down this B push. And we talked about the fact that YH almost caught Foxy9 on the entry last time. And Foxy was able to swing out through his cloud burst and get a really wide peek onto him. And I thought even in that situation that YH was a bit unlucky not to be able to get the kill. That time, as soon as YH is picked off, Stax is too slow to be able to trade. And that gap between Foxy and the rest of the team rears its head once more.
It's knocked DRX down to the weaker guns, just the rifle for Buzz. Oh, yeah. Spotted him, didn't he? Mako's going to be seen, and now they're converging on him. Heavy in mid. Mako with the Sheriff, can't quite hit the flick.
And this is a serious theme of what we saw on Fracture 2. DRX losing 2 rounds down to an eco. And this is how ASE started that crazy run in the second half, was by winning crucial gun rounds and then knocking DRX's economy down into the dumps.
A lot of ults that they could utilize here. Try and push them back. Lockdown's going to be used preemptively.
This is
timed up though, yeah. YH uses his no command, but he didn't get off in time, so now they've got this ult to really contend with. No way! You got to turn around, man! Foxy9's getting away with it.
YH had the nade!
Just murder!
They wanted YH's nade to deny the lockdown. That's why he didn't turn around and try and deal with Foxy. But it's all gone to chaos.
Re-detained! The players skipping, hopping this way, that way, not a gun in their hands, and the time is just being bled away from them. Cove It's shredded to pieces now. Time ticking, no one's sticking. Smoking away, it's raw spam. Enough to get the job done, but yeah, just slight miscoordination there.
I mean, a bit more than slight.
I was being polite.
That's very polite of you, Bren. I really appreciate that. The players will love that when they listen back. But that is chaos, and that is a disaster for attacking Seoul Esports. So the idea is YH is trying to run forwards with his null command, get the nade onto the lockdown, and they can actually start this retake properly. And he must be begging for his teammates to deal with Foxy there. And Foxy's stunned up with the frenzy. Is able to knock him to his knees.
Should have been dealt.
And that's so unfortunate for ASE because they got themselves into an economy advantage, and yet once more, DRX are able to fight their way out of it.
Slips away. No pushback again from this extremity control of A main. I said it before, DRX, they love to do it. They love to farm these orbs up. RB, he's on for his third reckoning.
That's very quick.
Good information gain, though.
It is, but it hasn't actually pulled anybody over.
Oh, I mean, a flash didn't connect yet still.
Wow.
HFMI takes the fight.
Doesn't care. He just doesn't
care. Swings right into it. Seeker's now popped off, though. DRX, they want to barrel forwards. They're going to take this site. Brute force. Cloves drop down. Snake bites. Spam. Will it be enough? Still gets the plant down. And the Viper's Pit as well. Layered on top. How do you chew through this one?
Buzz is falling back into that post-plant position again.
Yeah, he's really far back. Only this time they haven't given up Arc completely.
Oh no. Tell a lie, Buzz is going all the way back to A main.
Stacks is going to be the one to hold down his position. Retake with the op, never ideal. Dash away to cut it up. Left to just life again, and he has to run away. Got to save that gun. Operator needs to be kept into the next.
And Life really wants to try and find value with the op. He's got 5 kills so far in 7 rounds. It's not bad by any means, but he's really struggling to find value early on. And that's just a little bit of information. They're happy to give their lives away.
They're hunting for it. They got the money.
Get the op. Can Stacks punish this?
Yep. 2 seconds remaining. There it is.
They'll take that trade.
Can't carry that one forward. No family heirloom. So 2-5 being that scoreline in the map now, Josh. DRX.
And that is so bold from HFMI. So bold.
I really do love it, man. I mean, the timings they get taken. Yeah, there's no noise cue off the flash connecting. He still swings for the fight.
What's even more insane than that as well to me, Brent, is that the 0 point from the KO had identified that there was like 3 players there. And so he knows he's going to be swinging into a stack of players. It's not a coordinated push. It's just him on his own. Chad. Absolute Chad.
Still makes the play.
That's the kind of stuff that really will catch off some teams that are looking a little more shaky. And yeah, we're talking about DRX being in a bit of a slump, but that's relative to their normal expectations, where they're going to dominate groups, look like a title contender. Them slumping is still being favored over quite a few teams in this tournament.
Just the Marshall, that reckoning. Again, makes his way through onto the side, clears it out. Clear indicator here that ASE, they want to try and fight the flood back into this one. Denied a chance to even let DRX get that post plant down, but time has been bought and a bit of a distraction. Mako from the back, and yeah, Punt is none the wiser. All the way through, counter spam, flash round. It's Buzz. He's this way, that way. Spun.
Still want to go B.
Trying to adjust this, still trying to go B. They've lifted up to just RB. And it's a thrifty win. I mean, it's all over the place there. It's all over the place, man.
Attacking Seoul, they stack the right site. But what on earth are DRX doing just hammering their heads into the B site when they hear a musket line? They hear 3 lines of infantry just lined up. And they still decide to send it back in with no utility just based off the lurk. I think that's an incredibly optimistic and ambitious play from DRX there on an anti-eco. Exactly the wrong way to play it. And attacking Seoul Esports will take those.
Absolutely. Got to jump on them. Opportunities like that. So maybe it's not looking too dire.
Right. Now Life tries to punish Mako.
And here it is. Mako's been doing this lurk when they've been doing this 4-1 split. Mako's been trying to take that space, punished. Immediate reaction into the smoke. HFMI goes, and there it is. The return of the fire. This way, that way, just up to Buzz. It's a 1v3. Picks up the spike and now repositioning, but he doesn't know where anybody is. Lack of information. He's got so many angles to watch for and play for.
I just don't think this is even possible. There's no way he thinks about YH being behind it this time, does he? He looks like he's
holding it. He's holding it. Spots him. YH running back as well. Waiting for the rest of his team. Fight's taken though. It's a little bit disjointed. Dodged Buzz. Is he really going to be that guy? Pushing forwards all the way round. Buzz nails the shot. Are you not entertained?
That's exactly what the crowd is looking for. A 1v3 like that, played to perfection, and Buzz knows it. He was asked in the press conference who he thinks the most important player is going to be in this game, and he said me. I think it's going to be me. I'm the most important.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing why.
Confidence. I mean, you know, this guy puts up monstrous performances. You talk about Mako as the safe hands. The player is always able to just keep it calm in the clutch, but yeah, Buzz is good for moments like that too, playing a variety of roles.
And we're just seeing so many individualistic situations from DRX. That was carrying them through Fracture, to be honest, in a scoreline that was closer, I think, than a lot of people would have been expecting. And now here too, Buzz saves them. Perfectly for them.
Again, life pushed up deep.
And look how much safer Mako is playing this time around, not looking to get punished by life. DRX have been very heavy over towards A because they know they can take A main for free.
The reckoning again. It's going to be forcing them all the way back here. Monk dodging, juking, weaving in and out, not stunned up. Good job to stay alive towards the back of the side, but it's eventually traded. Buzz is there. Swings right the way around. Seekers, they all go. Fallen down, broken apart. Mako is on that flank, and that's going to be important now. With the lockdown at play, it's pushed them all into very predictable angles.
Life could double updraft this, and he might have a chance, but that would give away where he's flanking from.
He's just waiting it out. Very intelligent. Fight taken. Mako as well. Flanks on flanks. Life has been noted. Nobody giving him any sort of angle, any chance. Does he need it though? He's almost making his own opportunities.
Good try.
Tight. RB puts himself off there, maybe looking to try and spam. The cascade of anti-synergy. Blunts up close, stacks, returns the fire, swinging all the way through. That is 3-7. It's scrappy.
And tragic there as well, you're right. It's the cascade just blocking their own flash from YH. I like it. And a timeout here, tactical timeout being taken by Attacking Soul Esports as they tried to right the ship. There's so many different things that they could be doing here. And the biggest one that comes to mind is contesting for A main control. DRX only have one initiator here. They've only got one set of flashes, and they're unlikely to want to use the Trailblazer that early to contest over a piece of map control like that. So I'd like to see ASE play with life over at A. You know, set up a flash for him. Go there early with the Sky, flash him onto an angle. If there's people there, fight it with him and the KO. If not, leave him. You can maybe push him a little deeper with the KO knife, just to grab a bit of extra info. But there's ways of forcing fights for life where he doesn't just have to be playing B all the time.
Yeah. Just solo trying to catch the Mako lurk.
But trying to figure out the best adjustments, it can be simpler in a scrim or when you're at home, you know, you're in your own comfort zone. Here, where there's a crowd staring at you, cheering on Buzz winning a 1v3 against you, and you're staring opposite a team that has experience at Masters, at Champions, deep runs, big tournament placings, then it can be harder to come up with the ideas.
Oh, it's daunting. A lot asked of them to try and adapt. But 2 more chances in this first half to do so. Maybe they can again even it out. We saw similar scenes really on Fracture. Intermittent with them winning their rounds. Pushing forwards though, they want to make a pop flash play. Over the top towards A. Buzz, he watches for it, he calls it.
And they do fight for A control. But this on their eco.
Still wants to try and fight for a little bit more. It's mid being explored. This way, that way, it's returned with the fire. Bun gets the trade.
And Bun's got his reckoning online. That push over towards A got him the ult orb that he needed. And the weaponry's not looking that bad. I would believe in HFMI with a Bucky any day of the week as well. So,
what can he do?
As long as HFMI is able to hold on at the back of the B side. Having said that, DRX taking the spike and heading towards A main. The Reckoning, though, is such an important tool, and ASE are getting good information in mid. Unfortunately, they believe that it's heading to mid.
Yeah, they think it's a B push just because they spotted out Mako. And look at the util. Expended out towards B, expecting there to be more players behind Mako. Instead, it's a vacant site onto A. DRX realize it.
They've just over-rotated. The problem is, if ASE had one player here, Buzz wouldn't be able to take such an aggressive position. And now, ASE have got to re-clear all of these spots. It could be A main, it could be Art, it could be deep into Secret, Flowers. There's so many places that they have to clear. So the Reckoning doesn't work as well.
Can they fight over this? Flash dissuades them. Running forwards, a run and gun with the Stinger. Why not? If it does the job, if it works, still time is really running short here. And Anaswarm's deaded close to the corner. Buzz forced to dead it out, and that's all of them cleaned up. Time, plenty enough available. ASE take the necessary fights.
And even with a live buy, are able to convert that one. So finding a retake there, even without using, major ultimates, that they'll still have availability for next round. The Reckoning is still there. They've got Null Command to work with. They're set up actually for quite a decent half. On a map where we expected DRX to absolutely come out and dominate. I think there's, again, been enough gaps in how DRX are playing this to offer ASE these opportunities.
Here we go, last round now with this first half.
I do really like the idea of fighting A here, but Life is on the opposite side of the map. Are they going to send the Reckoning and just make DRX pay for every inch?
Yeah, it's a flash.
No, it's just a little passive. Yeah. They've given it up.
Snakebite as well, maybe to just fake like they were, disrespecting it and holding that space, but instead, no, okay, same game plan. One step closer to the Reckoning. Back over towards B. Back has been containing, so there's been no deep lurk, but again, it's Life who's playing close to this position. What is the call here? Looks like DRX is still discussing it, because back over towards A. Like this refight towards A main, but now there's another flash as well. Will there be the swing and the peek off of it? Yes, RB lands it and sprays him down.
They go 3 for 2 there. Attacking Seoul Esports still with a chance, but Life is a long way from the action. He's just waiting for the information. He's so scared of getting caught by Mako and losing the round completely. So once more, DRX have positioning everywhere that they would want over towards A.
This feels so awkward now as well.
And recall that Mako has these snakebite lineups from mid.
Yeah.
So his positioning might look disconnected, and it is in terms of trading and fighting, that kind of thing. But he's going to be able to send snakebites.
What YH has to do. No command, rips forwards, both the Nana Swarms. They're deaded early there, that was forced out from that ultimate. Now you see the snake bites from miles away. Mobility's being suppressed there, Life towards the side with a shoddy, diffusing. Not going to be able to stick, vulnerable now, 4 in a round, RB. Beautiful stuff. All managed well, and that's going to be that 8-4 half.
All in all, DRX able to contain that. And attacking Seoul Esports now go into the side where they've had such little success recently. Like I said, in their last 3 matches of Pearl, although with some different compositions, they've won only 5 out of 22 of their attacking rounds. So this is going to get even more difficult for the underdog team.
It's going to be that much harder, isn't it? We'll see just how they can really take it. But yeah, going into their attack side, it's not going to be their favorite half. Let's send it down to the desk to break it all down.
Thank you very much. Dominant half there from DRX. I got Mimi, Benkai, and Kakuka with me here. And Benkai, you were talking to us a little bit about how you felt like ASE were making similar mistakes on this map as they were on Fracture as well.
Yeah, I feel like I was watching a replay of Fracture again because you saw like good aggression from ASE at the start of the round. They took that A main fight very early on that pistol round. And even though they have 2 initiators, it just felt like they had no info on what DRX were doing the entire half.
Yeah, it really did seem so. And, well, we thought with this double flash composition, they would do a really good job with these retakes. Consistently, DRX was finding success in the post plant. And I think a big part of that was how disjointed a lot of these look. You'd have one player fighting on site, and players not really set up to flood to support with utility. So you could never have either those fast retakes together where you're actually flooding to support, nor could you have the more set retakes that are more normal on this map, which meant it was very inconsistent to try and win those rounds.
Yeah, it was only in those later rounds that we can actually see them making that a comeback and actually leveling up a little bit. They did not quite understand what to do with the composition, where their strengths were, into how to use that double flashes, the old information that you can gather with all of that.
I mean, we talk about Mako, we talk about Foxy Knight. Buzz, we've missed out on him. He was on the HyperX Reflex as well in map 1, and what a great performance from him. Oh my goodness, 317 ACS, Mimi.
He said in interviews that he's the player who needs to step up. When he plays well, he can propel the team to greatness. And on the Killjoy, he's been fantastic thus far.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about those retakes without all that utility, both in Fracture and now in Pearl as well. I think it's been so important for his team that he's performing. And now that we're talking about the defense, with all the initiation power that we see on the other side, we need those setups to be strong. We need him to save utility. We need him to be very smart to where he's positioned his pieces.
I mean, we're loving him. The crowd is loving him, and he's having a great time. But Benkai, what about ASE in the second half? You said that it felt like they weren't even getting any info with a double initiator. Is that where the gap is?
I mean, I'm hoping that they have a much better game plan for this attacking half, but I have a feeling that they're going to have trouble playing against like Buzz's Killjoy and how he controls the map with his utility and stuff. It'll be a lot different from what they're used to, I feel.
Mimi, what about you?
I think part of what makes this comp strong is the ability to push players off the site with the KO knife as well as double flashes. It's really hard to anchor again. So they'll be forcing DRX to play retake a lot of the time. And I think their win condition comes down to how strong they can be in the post lines. I'm fine to see them being aggressive, pushing life forward in those situations to try and gain an advantage.
Yeah, not only that, I think that you're talking about utility. I think that I'm looking at Mako again. I think that he's going to be a very strong stopping power when you talk about those executes and the way that he's going to be using his utility. I think that definitely DRX can close it easily, but I would not be surprised that this gets to overtime, actually.
But as the casters were saying, in history, ASE has not been as strong on this attacking side of Pearl. They've been back and forth on the compositions, and they've really struggled to find their stride here. And on the other side, DRX, if there's one thing they're good at, no matter the roster, it's setting up and taking their time with these set retakes, which really are the win condition in the Harbor Viper meta here on Pearl.
Yeah, but also the way that ASE were losing some of those rounds. We saw Buzz standing up, the entire stadium were kind of cheering for his name. Benkai, talk me through the crowd buff. Is it a thing? Is it a myth? Is it real?
It definitely is, and it just gives so much help when like Japanese fans are just crazy. They just love VALORANT here. So it really helps when you don't even feel like they're biased against like any one of the teams. They're just cheering because they love the game so much.
So both teams have the crowd buff?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
I've been told that we are going through a little bit of a tech pause right now, but it's okay. Pansy and Hypoc are casting a little bit later.
I think that they just got into the building.
Yeah,
so
we're warming up
for
the
Panpoc buff.
A little bit.
We get a little bit more time.
But I do like the crowd buff point, though, Mimi, of the fact that both teams have it. They got the entire venue just cheering for them no matter what they do.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And this is a really new experience. For DRX, they've been on the stage before. Even Foxy9 has competed within Pacific, which isn't quite the same, but he's had the opportunity to have that crowd behind him. But for these Chinese teams, for ASE, this is something new for them that I think can get you excited. You can channel that momentum and start to push this game closer, as we did see on Fracture.
Yeah, and if we talk about the trajectory, there's also this team has to have in an international stage. They need to learn to live with this pressure.
Well, everything is good in the game, so it's time to jump back into the second half with Josh and Bren and see if ASE can pull it back.
Yeah, let's find out. I mean, listen, you look at the statistics, you track it as well. Their attack side on Pearl hasn't been good for ASE in the domestic region they've been playing in China, but who knows? Listen, there's always a chance of that step up as well. Maybe the preparation is there. Maybe they've spotted some of the weaknesses in the way DRX do play this map.
I mean, you look at the minimap, it looks like we're going to have a massive clash in A main. DRX going for something that Attacking Soul Esports didn't show us too much of, which was those big clashes. They fought for it occasionally, but we'll see what the difference is like.
There it is, the exchange as well. Birds flying right past one another.
Yeah, they give it up. They don't want to fight with the Cascade at their back. So DRX doing the same thing, giving over control of that ult orb to HFMI.
It's interesting, isn't it? You know, the full prioritization, DRX trying to get the Reckoning online ASAP. Instead, it's ASE prioritizing the Seekers.
I mean,
ult orbs.
It wasn't just the ult orbs that were helping RB get his ults online so quickly.
I
He's
mean,
got 20 kills.
Yeah, he's 20 and 9. That doesn't hurt at all, does it? Trailblazer. Used a little bit later. Smoke forwards, nanoswarms as well popped off here. Just an attempt to delay by DRX. Gathering up now with the reinforcements. Will they try and flood, or are they just going to be trying to wait as well for the plan to go down? As a flash, it is an attempt. As the plan goes down, Mako is not watching for it. The reposition, life eventually dealt with, but it's all down to Stacks. He's low, 20 health. Shots firing straight through, blind as anything with the smokes, but it's dealt with, it's traded, and so the pistol goes to ASE.
Got to see whether ASE continue playing those aggressive post-plant positions. The difference in post-plant spots, so drastic between those two teams. DRX were falling back into really safe positions, launching utility at the plant. I mean, look how close HFMI and Life are here. And not just that, the 0 point comes out. And it tags onto RB, and that means there's no possibility for a high tide. It tags also onto Stacks, no possibility of flashes. You know, that 0 point is going to be a really important post-plant tool to stop retakers from taking space. This is strange. They just allow RB to take the orb. Everybody from ASE around that area, but none of them choosing to fight over it.
Yeah,
worried perhaps about a 5-person stack.
Worried potentially as well of any pop flash plays through it, but no. It's given up. Mid starting to be explored, but splitting themselves up.
This is where the lurkers can't be too fast.
Shots here.
They go for it anyway. It's dangerous in those kind of situations. You can definitely get caught.
Damage was done to Monk, but of course, heal in the back pocket. They've really slowed this one down and given DRX a full read because they've got nobody stacked towards B. All the way, running it through. Foxy9 attempts to disrupt again, and there it is. Backup is online. Mako pushing all the way through with the classics making short work of them. It's turned on its head just like that. It's up to HFMI, the 1v1. RB picks up the Bulldog. Cove to reposition. Watching on the edge.
That's so bold. That is so bold from HFMI. At any point there, RB could swing through his Cove, but RB's gone for the reposition.
It's still available. Of course, HFMI does not opt to use it. Needs to keep the gun out. That's roughly where RB is, but again, could have repositioned anywhere. Will he guess correct? It's all about the timing. Spots it, lands it. Beautiful. Lovely clutch, and listen, maybe it shouldn't have got that close. Maybe it shouldn't have come down to the 1v1, but it's a round on the board, nevertheless.
We saw one of these situations on Fracture too, where DRX were very, very close to winning the eco situation straight after the pistol round, and it damaged the option for ASE to go for an effective bonus. And I think that's what we're going to see again. You know, you think about how you're going to generate a comeback here. You need the pistol, but you really want to start doing damage in rounds like this, round 15. It's going to be hard for the Chinese squad to do that here.
But they still can. Flash over the top there.
With the 0 point.
Control here, yeah.
Trying to find Mako and stop the one-way and stop the snake bites from being a thing. Instead, Mako, he didn't even deploy them yet.
I really like this. Could be spotting a bit of a weakness here in the defensive setups. It's, again, bring them all the way into the sides. Fragment nades, snake bites, everything. It's tossed into the back of Horse to clear it out, so the site should be theirs. Inside the orb, though.
And now the aggressive post-plant positions of ASE should be great.
Oh, Bunt is taking so much damage from that. Does stick it though, so they get themselves into the post. And it's aggressive. Like you said, Josh, Trailblazer leaps it in, dash forwards from Foxy9. Cuts that one forwards. Where's the rest of the help? It's a team flash, but yeah, okay. The fire is returned. RB's quick. Just help out. Left up to Monk. No snake bites. Got the angle watched for here, but with just a Vandal. Trying to spam is dangerous. RB sticking, already gaining half. Can't quite land the bullets, and yep. Just all the way through.
Monk will be happy to save the Vandal, but also if he goes down, still enough money to buy for the next. And in that situation, DRX anticipating those more aggressive post-plant situations and getting Stacks' utility in the right place. I mean, take a look at this from Foxy9. He's got that flash around the corner, and they're able to clear people out. This is what they didn't quite realize was happening on the pistol. And honestly, about half of winning a Valorant round, any Valorant round, is getting a read on what your opponents are doing.
Yeah. Gonna have that appropriate idea. Obviously, it was that half by 6-9 being that scoreline, but finally some rifles in the hands of ASE. Deep high tide dropped across. Stacks was not contested on that spot, so he's picking up one step closer now to the Seekers.
Yeah, and when attacking Seoul Esports are trying to take B control or mid control,
Having fun with it.
They don't really have anyone deep in A. I think that's a good idea. That's what Life was saying at the press conference. You know, they were coming in to have a bit of fun with it and to learn.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Before they arrived and before they scrimmed, they said they wanted to win the championship. But I think expectations were readdressed somewhat quickly after they got the chance to
maybe
play a little.
Practice, yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
Reckoning through. Okay, what a shot to land with the updraft. Mako was not ready for that one. Could not reposition in time. Seekers let loose and across here. It's a pivot. Just two players. No one's watching main this entire time. It's been contained. Foxy9 still there. Smoke dropped down. He repositions. Watching. Still containing. ASE, do they really still want to commit into this one? They don't have any control of the site.
Foxy9 is going to hear them coming like a herd of elephants.
Oh, and the shot's just not quite landing here still. He's still close. Foxy9. Dash now active once more. Off the back of that kill.
And they didn't leave anybody be as an option to go back in that direction.
Yeah, 15 seconds left. One to the reposition, on for the ace. And the time pressure, it's all there. Seconds ticking away, the crowd chanting, the crowd denied the chance. Won't be seeing a repeat of what Boostio was achieving, but the DRX, they can be pleased. 6-10, starting to now sail away with it.
It does feel like that. And just some unusual decisions in terms of committing to the side, but to be honest, we saw the same thing from DRX. They had that round where they almost assuredly should have taken an exit and pivoted in the first half and instead just forced their heads into a brick wall over towards B. So both teams finding it a little hard to find the weak site. And attacking Seoul Esports are going to take a timeout here. It's 6-10. They've got a deficit. They've also got no money to buy. So this one likely to send DRX up to 11. And this is where you really get to see a bit of the tier difference that we were expecting between the two teams. It's not been completely clean sailing here for DRX. You know, sometimes we've seen them in the group stage and they've just battered teams. 13-2, 13-3.
Yep.
Goodbye, wham bam, thank you ma'am.
Other times they have been a bit more shaky. You know, they've still been able to sail through most of the times that they've been in the group, but you know, every now and then you just see the form is just not really up to par where the expectations are. They are a team as well that, you know, we thought that they kind of broke through the hurdle as well, you know.
Yeah,
Champs last year, being able to make that deep run.
And then everything after Champions has been them in a bit of an identity crisis, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Not
Maybe
really
this is
knowing which
the
roster to run.
Maybe this is the tournament for them to figure it out. And, you know, it's not just which roster to run. I think it's also like how they want their style to work too. But they've got some time to figure that out.
Yeah.
And
beginning.
They're not looking like they're in danger of losing that. Whoops, that 0 point went miles away. So RB escapes and he has all of his utility online.
Yep, still maybe intending to catch on to him. Foxy9, the dash is there. He realizes they're running right all the way through. Oh my goodness, your body blocking me. Get out of my way. Shot. Didn't quite land there. Maybe just the movement and accuracy as well. It went wide. An exchange of the gun. So, rifle in the hand. Want to try and see that initiation. Dash to disengage. There was a judge up top, but now that threat is no longer there. And it's still that aggressive post plant.
Yeah, really, really aggro.
Deep smoke again. High tide now there. No command. As soon as the first layer and wave of that util is used, it's enough to really bog DRX down. They can't use anything to break past this chokehold, this crossfire setup. It has to be the raw duels. Taken, and Foxy9 swings into it. There's nobody to help him. Where's the cover? And fire, Monk! It's raining down lead. He's handed that perfect chance. Eventually got a little bit more, but he does spot out where Stacks is, and that'll be easily done. So, get themselves to 7th. Massive round, yeah.
They come straight out of a timeout with bad weaponry, and they still manage to get the site and play another one of these really close post plants on B. very much not how any team is playing this map at the moment, in terms of, you know, post-plant positioning and the composition that they're using too. But it does make sense for what they're running. They don't have those nanoswarms to be able to work with, so playing passive positions, not going to be as useful. And here we see YH, the player that helped take all of the utility offline, now pick up and operate.
He's still got
on
the
attack.
Yeah, I mean, they exchanged the weapons around like did. Well, that was from DRX's side, excuse me, but yeah, picks up the operator for attack side now. I mean, it's intriguing. Definitely unorthodox. Viper's Pit. Laid down at their feet through the choke point. There's a lot of util to slow them down. The Trailblazer had to wait out a Nana Swarm, and there's a flank, this deep push from Foxy9. He's got all the information in the world for his team. That's how they can afford to stack over towards A. But it is being watched for. And the shot's there.
Who needs a Killjoy turret?
Yeah.
Got a KO with an AWP.
YH with the AWP. Magical stuff. Plan still needs to go down though, and they want to play up close inside the pit. They deny it. Chance to get into the post plant. Still, 50 seconds remaining. How does this get offset? Spike picked back up. Life still close here. He's got the judge. It's a bit of a team flash. Up close. What is that? He's updrafting.
Well, that's
going to take him out. Stacks hits a nasty shot with the reactions, and the spike eventually planted. Mako. He's got himself a judge now as well. Himself falling from the main position. Fragment nade will push them off from the tap. Initially, a flash play to attempt a sturdy operator to try and spam with, to try and play the post to Shorty as well. It's not the right tool for the job. You just have to back away, and it's all over the place. It's carnage at its core, but gets the job done, doesn't it, for DRX?
Back-to-back teams with the worst economy winning here in round 17, round 18, but flipped in the opposite direction. What is this shot? Lovely from Stacks.
That is disgusting.
Lovely. And then the rest of it, ASE just struggled so much in terms of getting the plant down. They had the pit, but it didn't extend very deep into the site. Serious difficulties there, being able to get into a comfortable spot, especially with YH using the operator instead of buying himself a rifle, trying to get value out of the op that they'd picked up.
No nuance in the play though this time around again. Straight forwards to the A site.
It feels so similar to Fracture when they just got to the end of the game.
Flash in the back.
Hits constantly.
Life trying to set up off of it. Wasn't supported though, wasn't timed particularly well. The Reckoning's there, DRX. Watchful eye with all the rifles. No attempts to push through into Art, into the back of the side, and again they can't get that plant down.
Is this a playbook issue from ASE? Like I said, we saw the same on the first map. It just feels like it gets to about this spot in their attack half, and they just feel like they want to go for the same thing over and over and over. 3v5 now where they're not in a great spot. They've got enough money to be able to buy for next, so they might just want to try and send this. Their positioning is so committed.
Trying to send it here. Adjustment. Foxy9 with the operator. Swings the aim down through the smoke, pops through. Buzz is expecting. He's playing anti-flash. And yep, he expects it. HFMI was there. Plan still being stuck though, but oh, Mako. Quick to adjust.
Ready for it.
Quick to run him down. So that's the 12th round gain here, Josh. One more step away from locking up the series.
ASE finding themselves in a difficult spot here. The economy is not going to be too bad. Monk, though, not with very much money. The rest of the team should be able to invest into rifles. DRX are going to be able to... Look how many players there are on the minimap right now for DRX. They have almost everybody over here. There's only Stacks that was playing towards me, and then even he ended up joining the rest of the team. They're just not afraid of ASE running any sort of fake or pivot on them, having a lurker. They're so confident that it's just going to be a straight up A hit.
Yeah, they know it's straight up. Again, I know one's not there. Again, deep flash. Blade Storm in his hands, ripping his way across. It's so similar, and allows Foxy9 the timing. He knows what they're going for. Orb's being farmed up, takes the peak. Dash to get out.
Happy birthday, HFMI.
Yeah. This feels like a DRX that are regaining a bit of confidence, you know. Often you see this team, they play, looking at the cams afterwards, and there's a lot of smiles, a lot of exchange of the fist bumps, but Stacks has been quite stern comparative to how he usually is. Life over the top, that was an updraft play still, the angle's watched for Foxy9. He lands his, comes down to this.
He
The
wants to
offset it.
duel.
He wants to fight, and he will take it. 3 now for him. Set up again for the ace, with the shorty out denied there, spamming through. It looks like it is finished. It looks like it's finalized, and that will do it. Series contained. DRX, they get the 2-0.
And that's the expected result here for DRX. The manner in which they did it, they had a couple of shakes today, but they also had some things that worked very nicely. The individual form and the individual brilliance, never in doubt. RB ends that map with